our topic today is how to know when someone is a true friend. Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle viewed the formation of society as a reflection of the profound need for human affiliation, friendship, rather than simply an arrangement between otherwise detached people that didn't know one another or didn't care for one another. One cannot speak of true happiness without the bond called friendship. No amount of wealth, status, or power can adequately compensate for a life without genuine friends. Friendship is a rare spiritual intimacy that can only be shared among a handful of people. As a result, a person may live an entire life and only have 2 or 3 friends. Too many people assume that they're blessed because they have 50, 60 individuals whom they call friends. In truth, this indicates neither good fortune nor extraordinary popularity, but a complete misunderstanding of what genuine friendship is. Those with many so-called friends have confused friendly acquaintances with real friendship. A person cannot befriend a bunch of people because friendship requires a willingness to sacrifice one's own well-being for the good of the other. Friendship will always involve a small number of high-quality relationships. What sort of person is capable of engaging in real friendship? Some people will never be able to establish, much less maintain anything approximating the bond of friendship. Because friendship requires that both parties possess a certain moral stature. Friendship is above all a relationship of trust. For individuals morally incapable of respecting and upholding the trust placed in them by the other person, friendship becomes impossible. Friendship should not be confused with pseudo-friendship or convenience relationships that have become common nowadays. Many people mistakenly believe that convenience friendships are real friendships, but they're not. Convenience friendships may be a financial alliance, they may involve a political attachment, but they should never be confused with true friendship because the relationship is based on what's in it for those involved. Financial concerns, political considerations, and the possibilities of establishing fruitful contacts are not the proper foundation for real friendships. They imply a tacit exploitation in which people are in some way used for the benefit of each other. What these relationships typically lack, despite the superficial benefits they bring, is a meaningful concern for the other person as a person. And that's one of the indispensable features of a true friend. A meaningful concern for the other person as a person. Friendship is a near sacred bond between individuals, a mutual nobility that requires duty, obligation, commitment, and sacrifice. A difficult, challenging standard seldom found in the majority of relationships in life. And let's take some for example. And we're going to use people that are in the news because that way you know who I'm talking about. Let's take Frank and Jamie McCourt. And at issue is an agreement that they signed in 2004 that reportedly stated that Frank McCourt is a sole owner. However, Jamie McCourt's legal team says she never signed that particular version of the agreement. Her attorney told the judge on Monday that the document she signed made the team community property. Wasser also said that 2 weeks after signing that version, Frank McCourt's lawyers switched the wording of the paperwork, granting full ownership to Frank instead, allegedly. Now let's analyze this. Here we have a couple, and hopefully they were friends at one point. Frank did what is claimed here. Then he lost his wife's trust. And when you do that, you don't have friendship. Because that's the basis, one of the most important bases of friendship is trust. And they're arguing over what's in it for them. And that's another thing that immediately lets you know that there isn't any friendship. Now let's take another famous couple, Tiger Woods and Ellen Nordgren. Nordgren's lawyers wrote that the marriage was irretrievably broken. We are sad that our marriage is over, and we wish each other the very best for the future, Woods and Nordgren said in the statement. While we no longer are married, we are the parents of two wonderful children, and their happiness has been and will always be of paramount importance to both of us. Are they going to court? No. Did they reach an agreement? Yes. Did Tiger break? He broke the friendship. But let's talk about his wife, Ellen. Has been an exemplary person. She's been very quiet, very private, protective of her children, and they sat down and resolved this without a fight. I would contend that there was a great possibility that Ellen was Tiger's friend. Above being his wife, and above him at one point maybe having gone through a phase of romantic love with her, she was his friend. And maybe she still would like to continue being his friend, but he has destroyed it. Then there are people, famous people, that aren't married, that have true friendship. Who says you forget your friends when you're famous? Not true. In the case of Oprah Winfrey and her best friend for 33 years, Gayle King. Oprah and Gayle met while they were both working at a television station in Baltimore, Maryland. A snowstorm brought the two together when Oprah invited Gayle to stay at her home for the night. After a long night of chatter and jokes, the two became inseparable. Oprah is the godmother of Gayle's two children. Now, here's a very famous woman. And let me tell you, when you're famous as she is, there's a lot of people that want to be her friend. She has to be very careful. And yet, she didn't meet this person in high school or didn't meet them when they were children. She was already an adult and working at a station when they met. So she found this person when she was an adult and formed a bond of friendship. And that has prevailed for 33 years and still continues today. That's an excellent example of friendship. On rare occasions when we're fortunate enough to start such a relationship, our entire life changes. All that we experience takes a new meaning when we're in a position to share completely with a person who has become another self. No amount of power, money, or status can take the place of the precious joy of a true friend. As Aristotle said, friendship is a relationship in which two people come to share the same soul. Friendship is a near sacred bond between individuals, a mutual nobility that requires duty, obligation, commitment, trust, and sacrifice. A difficult, challenging standard seldom found in the majority of relationships in life. But when you do find them, they are phenomenal. M.A. Sopius and Panos Mordekwatis wrote the book The 10 Golden Rules, from where many of today's program notes came from. Thanks for listening.